Football season without the delicious taste of an ice cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. Along with Chris Canty, Evan Cohen with you, Michelle Smallman back with us on Monday. You heard there, Bill Belichick, officially the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Good morning, CC.
It's a good morning for me. Not as good of a morning as it is for you, though. I mean, you couldn't wait to put on the Carolina jersey, right?
We're
going to be seeing more Carolina blue from you in the days to come.
I got my MJ Carolina blue jersey on today.
The ceiling is the roof.
You're damn right, Michael.
Is that what it is? So we're now going from Chapel Hill to Chapel Bill?
That's what we're doing.
That's the word on the street?
This, for those listening on the radio, I'm going to make a very weird reference for you. But if you ever saw the Maya video back in the day, this is like you remember the Maya, the R&B star was wearing this jersey?
That's the Best of Me song.
Yes.
Yeah, with Jay-Z.
Right. Okay.
I remember.
All right, I'll be over here now.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, that was the song.
Yeah, that was the song.
And this is the jersey. I don't know if I bought it 100 years ago because of that. I have no recollection of when I bought this, but I have my Carolina blue MJ jersey on today for Bill Belichick, the head coach of the UNC Tar Heels. Mm-hmm. Before we get to all of the analysis and the sound, that is actually odd, CC, for me to say out loud. Does this feel weird for you that Bill Belichick is the coach of North Carolina, and the amount of coaches we'll have in the NFL that'll get fired and hired this year, and we'll say that guy instead of Bill Belichick? Your thoughts?
It's strange to hear it, but if you listen to the reporting done by our people, it doesn't sound like Bill Belichick was going to have an opportunity in the NFL during this hiring cycle. And for somebody that is a lifelong coach, he wants to do what he loves, and he has an opportunity to go coach at an important program in a Power 4 conference. And with the ever-changing landscape in college football and it's starting to mirror more of what we're seeing at the professional ranks, it seems like it's the opportune time for Bill to make that leap. So I love it. I love the UNC Board of Regents thinking outside of the box and, as you always say, starting with a no and going.
It was a yes.
And it ends up being a yes. Think about it. You've never seen a coach with this kind of profile be available in college football. I mean, Pete Thamel talked about it a little bit last night on SportsCenter, but you've never seen somebody have this type of resume be available for college football, and nonetheless be available for a program like UNC that has been, for lack of a better term, underachieving for the better part of the last quarter century. This is an outstanding get by them, so you got to give all credit to the administration, the school president, and the Board of Regents for being able to make this happen.
I'm wondering, retroactively, if we should have figured this out all along. And what I mean by that is not that he was going to UNC, but that college could be an option. When the NFL said no to him last year, he spent this entire year, whether it's the Manning cast that he's a part of, Pat McAfee on Tuesdays, he does Inside the NFL, Pat McAfee on Mondays, he does Inside the NFL, he does all these different things. But every week he's at NFL Films with two guys, Mike Lombardi, former NFL GM, who we hired yesterday to be the North Carolina GM, and Matt Patricia. And what do they do on the weekends? They've been at all these colleges all year. Everyone were at Rutgers and Washington and LSU and all these different colleges all year. What did these guys all do over the last few weeks? Join Instagram. Why are you joining Instagram? That's the only way you communicate with the high school kids now is on Instagram, and you're DMing and things like that.
Probably got a better chance on TikTok, but I hear what you're saying.
Joining social media. Bill Belichick famously anti-social media. I wonder if there were all these hints along the way that we never would have picked up on because we never would have thought about him going to college. But is college now another version of the pros?
I think it's getting that way. In college football now, you have general managers, you have scouting departments, you have people that are putting together, the budget for your roster, which is a departure from what it was when I was there, 20 years ago. But I think that it's ultimately going to come down to pay for play. And I thought Belichick did a great job of being able to set the tone for what his program would look like and saying on the Pat McAfee show that it's going to be a pipeline to get to the NFL. If you're a high school kid and you hear that from a coach that's won 6 Super Bowls, which is more than any coach has ever done,
right?
How could you not have UNC on your short list if you think that you're going to have the ability to get to the NFL?
I love that.
How could you not consider going to play for Bill Belichick? If it truly is pay for play, and if he's going to basically prepare you for the NFL, if UNC is going to become an incubator or a pipeline for what we're going to see in the National Football League. Why wouldn't you want to go there if you're a college kid? You have the opportunity to prepare for it. You have the opportunity to get acclimated to what the scheduling is like, what practices will be like, the techniques that will translate to success in the NFL. Why wouldn't you want to go do that? Why wouldn't you want to be involved in a program that has a style of play that resembles more of what we're seeing on Sundays? I mean, think about it. We had in studio for First Take the #1 basketball prospect in A.J. DeBansta announced that he was going to BYU. And the biggest reason why he's going to BYU is because they had a pro coach, they had a pro athletic staff, they had a pro strength and conditioning staff. He said, I want to prepare myself to get to the next level. Well, it's the same thing with UNC with Bill Belichick. It's just going to take you 2 or 3 more years. But that's the same concept. If you're a high school kid, or if you're a JUCO kid, or if you're somebody that's at a program and you don't really feel like you're getting the coaching that you're needing, why wouldn't you hit the portal? Why wouldn't you sign with Bill Belichick on signing day when you have the opportunity to? It just makes all the sense in the world.
Let's pause it right there because let's hear from Pete Thamel, ESPN college sports insider, college football insider, who he said that Belichick is wanting to make this into an NFL factory.
He wants to be an NFL factory. He wants guys from training, teaching, nutrition to come in there and know this is going to be the preeminent place in college football to prepare for the NFL. And look, it's tough to argue with Bill Belichick's track record. I think it's going to be unbelievably compelling for recruits. I've been told Bill Belichick, as of a couple of days ago, was like looking at portal players. He was diving into the minute level details here, who Carolina had in the portal, who they'd take back, who they could upgrade on, who they could want. There's going to be a big wholesale strategy to this, from NIL, from revenue share. Every detail I've been told has been poured over by Bill Belichick and his team.
This is a fascinating thing. So I want to ask you this part of this, CC, because I hear the comments by Thamel, and the first thing I thought of yesterday, the very first thing I thought of was, can he get Jalen Milroe at Alabama? Like, seriously, because
you brought it up.
Can he get Arch Manning in Texas? And the reason I say this is because of what you just said. Jalen Milroe went from, he's a first-round pick at the start of the season, Alabama quarterback, to at the end of the season, I'm not sure that he should come out.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not getting better, should you potentially be looking at Bill Belichick as a way to get you better? Arch Manning obviously is not starting at Texas, in essence, by choice, because he signed up to go play where Quinn Ewers was because of the coach and Steve Sarkisian. Well, this coach is better. In terms of preparing guys for the NFL, that's the biggest question for me. Everybody's like, it's not going to work. He's old. He's not going to relate to the young players. Come on. It's not even about relating them to
no.
It's getting them to the pros.
That's it. And that's all they care about. Athletes just want the answers to the test. On the field and sometimes in the classroom, and UNC knows a little something about that. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Athletes just want to figure out, how can I be successful? What do I need to do in order to maximize my athletic ability and my earning potential? Bill Belichick is going to help them do that. It's pay for play. Guys understand that. How can I be the most productive player that I possibly can and simultaneously prepare to take my game to the next level once I graduate and once my eligibility is over? That's what it's about.
If you were I'm using Jalen Milroe as an example, not because he said he's going to transfer, but he's a known guy at a known school, right? If you were Jalen Milroe's advisor, would you tell him to go pro, stay at Alabama, or talk to Belichick?
No, I go pro.
Okay.
I go pro, because Jalen Milroe is going to have an opportunity to be a first-round draft pick. But if you're somebody that's borderline,
right,
then why wouldn't you consider staying in college another year and going to Bill Belichick at UNC?
I agree.
Like that, to me, that makes all the sense in the world. First of all, it's the flattery of it all, right? Bill Belichick wants me to come to his program.
Good point.
To help him establish his culture. There's going to be some cachet that comes along with that, being the first class that Bill Belichick uses to usher in the Belichick era in Chapel Hill, or Chapel Bill, as we're now calling it. But I couldn't fathom a player that thinks that they have the ability to get to the NFL not considering going to UNC. Just because the guy might yell and scream a little bit does not dismiss or take off the board what he's been able to accomplish and the track record of guys that he's been able to turn into successes. Think about Julian Edelman. You're talking about the guy being a college quarterback.
Yep.
You know, those are the types of Troy Brown. Think about what he was, corner and wide receiver in the NFL. If you're a college player or a high school player looking at what Bill Belichick has been able to transform guys into in the NFL, think about Tom Brady. He was a 6th-round draft pick.
He made 2-star guys into 5-star guys. That's what he's done his entire life.
He's maximized everything he could get out of guys that were under the radar. If you're a five-star prospect and you're seeing what he's been able to do in the NFL with those guys, why would you not think he couldn't make you a star in college football?
Our buddy Gerard Cherry, our teammate here at ESPN Radio, ESPN Cleveland, Next Level as well, was a guest last night on Game Night. He is a former defensive back for the New England Patriots, won 3 Super Bowls with Bill Belichick, and discussed the idea of maybe potentially Belichick's hire giving more power back to the coaches and the universities in the college system that is today.
But I think in his case, because he's gone through this in some semblance with free agency, okay, I want this guy to stick around. I'm going to negotiate what he's worth and all that. And the cutthroatness and the coldness of the pro football game, he can bring that to the college game, because at some point we're going to start seeing that. At some point there's going to be a reversal where they're going to figure out some way to get back control and maintain some semblance of power. And he's probably the perfect person to demonstrate how you go about calculatedly doing just that.
How long was your scholarship for at Virginia?
My scholarship was a 1-year scholarship that was renewable. It's a 1-year renewable situation. Now, most of the time, if not all the time, the scholarship gets renewed.
But what Gerard is saying, that if you're getting paid